everybody, welcome back. We are on episode 31 after a short break because, well, Europe was pretty much on fire last week, or last two weeks ago when we were potentially going to record. I um, I normally start these things and I normally try and give people an idea of stuff that's going on and stuff I want to talk about and everything else like that. And this week we just haven't. Um, we've had a bit of a break effectively because of the way that the weather was. We are very lucky in the fact that next week apparently the temperatures might well soar again. So we have a happy little week in the middle here. Nephii already looking upset about it. Becky's worrying about it. I have to say, we were lucky. We were lucky in the way that we prepped this house. We did a whole bunch of work and made sure that we didn't melt too much, but it was not recording weather, especially seeing as certainly for myself, I'm in a tiny room with lots of computers and lots of electrical equipment, so I would have melted. I know other people would have melted, so we just decided not to, and yeah, we put out something effectively last week. We're going to have a gap the week that we're recording this, and then we'll be putting this one out for you. But with the standard stuff, when I haven't got a lot to discuss, I do go through a few bits and pieces, sort of stuff that we use and the sort of stuff we do. So we are using Foundry. We're using the official module for the Abomination vaults on Foundry, which is lovely and has tons of sound in it and loads of pre-done bits and pieces so that you can hear various ghostly noises and all the rest of it that are embedded into these pages. The amount of work done on here is fantastic, and considering in the last few weeks I have been trying to upscale all of the maps for my other game, which three of the people here play, I know how much effort is involved in making maps that might not even vaguely this good. So the content level and the amount of stuff that's in this module is amazing. It includes Sirenscape stuff. We don't particularly use Sirenscape anymore because the sound's already built in, and you will hear those very, very shortly once we start on the or restart, as it were, this combat, which we've been putting off now for 4 weeks, and yeah, that's sort of we obviously record all of our stuff using OBS. We're on Discord, which is our main sort of center for having all of these guys' lovely pictures here, and all of their wonderful smiles as they beam down at you or otherwise. And yeah, there's not really a lot more on top of that. We absolutely 100% are chuffed to see that our subscribers are still starting, still ticking over. We're still getting the odd one or two people coming along. Every other week or so we get another couple of people, and it's a slow build, but it's been nice to know that there are people that subscribe to us. I do have some vague information that is that the YouTube sort of algorithms that they use to promote videos and all the rest of it are now biasing likes. So if people can like our videos, that will make a huge difference to us. It will make us more prominent on people's searches. It will bring stuff up. Obviously, word of mouth is always helpful as well. So if any of you guys want to sort of just pass on the word that we're here and that we're doing this, if you enjoy us, and let other people kind of come in. Obviously, with a hell of a lot of stuff, we have been trying to improve our sound. We've been trying to improve all of our recording stuff, and we are slowly but surely, with any hope, getting a little bit better and a little bit more close to what you guys expect. Now, I am just going to get us started, I guess, because we have done something for the first time. I'm sure it won't be the last time this happens, but for the first time in our 30 episodes, we have a combat which has spread over the course of 2 episodes, or will do by the end of this one. You encountered this thing at the beginning of episode 30, and we had a long protracted fight throughout the last recording, which continues into this point now. So if I swap everybody over so that they can see what is on Foundry now, and you guys can already see this, we are still in the midst of this fight with the gibbering mouther. They haven't officially got the name of that, but most of these players already know all of these creatures, so no real troubles there. We'll just kick off a little bit of music because we were in the midst of the creature's turn. And that's going to mean that it is going to continue its action. Are you ready, Nephii?
No.
Are you sure? Because this is
I'm...
now all on you. Because
wait, what?
Because while the gibbering mouther is indeed trying to engulf you, which is the official name of the action, a reflex save can get you out of this.
Hmm?
So
you straight away that you've got a hero point.
There is that. There is a hero point there for you now. Start of a new session, so you automatically have a hero point. You have a pretty important reflex save to make.
Mm-hmm.
Make that reflex save, please, and tell me what you get.
Oh yeah, I'm rolling it naturally. I was about to click it on the screen.
No, don't do that.
Oh, okay, that's not so bad. That's 28.
Not so bad.
Nice.
This is Abomination
I don't know
Bolt.
what
You need a
the fuck it
32.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That is more than enough to be successful. With a successful saving throw, you are able to actually sidestep this ability. What it allows you to do, a creature that passes this effectively can be pushed in front of the creature or step aside. So you're allowed to move yourself away from that space.
Okay. Oh, no, I can't.
Oh,
It's
yes.
not letting me move
it
it.
won't do. Now it will. Go on, you do that.
Okay. I was gonna just more go there.
Yep, that's fair enough.
No.
Oh,
No, we're good. Sorry. Yeah.
you're good.
No, we're fine. Yeah.
So, in trying to sort of creep up this rock that you were stood on, and it drops down or tries to drop down upon you, you make the last second decision to jump aside and jump into the water that's on the side of the that's put by the side of you. That water is deep, so you do sort of go under and come up a little bit at the last second as the creature drops onto that stone and completely engulfs the stone. You would have been buried underneath it. As it spots that it's completely missed you, one of the jaws is going to come down and try and bite at you as you drop there. Down as its last action, it can't do anything else more than that. It's going to roll an 8 on the dice for a 22, which I believe will hit you. Yep. So it does. Get another dice from my dice tray.
Well, not more dice.
Yeah. More dice. Plenty more dice. It does 19 points of damage as this bite comes down hard on you. In addition to that, you are going to take persistent bleed damage, which I will tell you what it is at the end of your turn. However, that is all three of its actions. It is now
as well.
Phelan's turn.
Okay. Who am I? What am I doing?
It has been a while.
Hiding.
It has definitely been a while. I believe you got hit quite hard a couple of turns ago.
Yes, I did, and I had to heal myself up. So I'm going to come out here, thinking about throwing a firebolt at this thing, and now I can see Nephi's been reasonably gnashed. We're gonna go with flinging a level 1 heal.
Level 1. Yep.
So it's a 2-action cast. for 3 + 8 + 1, 12 hit points returned.
Okay, so you step out from the corridor, you nip back behind and heal up Nephii. That is going to be the end of turn 4. That's how long this has lasted for. And we're into turn 5, and it is Mosran's turn.
Seeing as how we're positioned, my feet are a bit wet, I am gonna make the unusual approach, and I'm gonna stab it in the faces. I think
Moz being Moz.
mosmosing.
Mm-hmm.
Was it harder?
Oh, good God, I'm gonna use it. It's a natural 1, so is that worth re-rolling or not? Fuck it, stick with it. Second attack, it's got to be brutish. Oh, I think might be the best way forward on this. Until the end of my current turn. No, so I will go with an exacting strike on this one, which means that the neg 5 sticks with me for the third attack.
If you miss.
That's an 11 plus 12 minus 5. So 11
7.
plus 7 for 18.
That is just a miss.
So he'll redress and go for another strike.
Mm-hmm.
That's a 13 plus 7.
That's going to hit. That is going to hit. So by all means, roll some damage. That is, however, a slashing weapon, I believe, isn't it?
It probably is, yes. Being a halberd of +1, it is. Yes, reach vertical.
Okay.
Doesn't say, so I'm presuming yes.
Yeah.
Long spike with an axe blade attached.
Yeah, it's actually, to be fair, it's a piercing weapon. It's a versatile slashing, so you can choose to slash with it, but normally you would pierce with it.
As I described, he redressed and stabbed.
Yep,
So
that's fine. That's fine. That also means I can't react to it, so it's not a bad move. Damage, please.
And halberd on my notes is a. Because I've slept since the last game. 1d10 plus strength enchantment. So there we go. That's the 10. Gives us a 4 plus 4. But an 8.
8 more points of damage. Okay, the Christian, you take a jab at this thing. You strike another blow, but it is still most definitely alive. Inver.
Yeah. Most things involve me getting up close. I don't want to do that. However, I am going to move to there and then cast Chill Touch on it.
Okay then. Yep.
So that will be a DC 18 Fortitude save.
DC
Oops,
18
and I'm not rolling
Fortitude
those
save.
because we are rolling actual dice.
You are. DC, how much? DC what?
18.
18. Alright, okay. So I rolled a 4 on the dice, but that gives me a 19 for my Fortitude save.
Wow.
So I'll take half of whatever you're going to dish out here.
Half of 5 because I rolled 2 1s.
Half of 5 because you rolled 2 1s. So I'll take the 2 damage then. Yeah, not great, unfortunately, but it is still
Really not.
It is still an advantage. You know, you are still able to chip some of it away. Okay, so we move on to, and I've just got to check this. We move on to Nephii.
Okay.
Now, I will say this: you are bleeding. So you have 2 options when you are taking persistent damage. The first option is you can just leave it as it is, and at the end of the turn, you roll a d20. On a 15 or higher, you will not bleed the following round. Okay. You take the damage, you roll that dice, you see if you carry on bleeding. You can, however, also choose to have an action called staunching. Effectively, it's an attempt to try and stop yourself from bleeding. It takes an action, and then when you do the roll at the end of your turn, you are only having to roll an 11 or higher. Okay, so, or 10 or higher, sorry. So it increases your chance of stopping yourself bleeding. So that is an option for you, which is obviously not something that we've normally dealt with, because we don't tend to deal with persistent damage in any of our games so far. I do a lot of it dealing with alchemical bombs, but you players have not really had to do a lot of that yet. So
I am gonna.
hmm.
I'm gonna leave it because I want one of my actions to try and identify the thing to try and get my. Oh no, I've got advantage, haven't I?
You do because of the flanking, yes.
Yeah. So I don't need to do it. So yeah, I'll spend an action doing the staunch,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'm gonna stab and then stab again.
Okay, stab and then stab again.
So, really that plus. Oh no, plus 9. So 27.
That's definitely a hit. That is definitely a hit, and because of the advantage, because of the flat-footed,
Sorry.
you gain your sneak attack on this.
So that's 9 damage.
9 points damage. It's still going, but it doesn't look like it's going to last too long if you can keep this pressure up.
And then I've got one more action, so I'm going to try and hit it again.
Mm-hmm.
21.
21 is a hit. Yes, you do
Ooh.
hit with that.
And do I get my sneak attack?
You do. The wonderful
That's
thing.
the bit I always get confused.
It is, yeah. It's whenever you have flat-footed on your target, you always gain the sneak attack.
And that's 8 damage.
8 more points of damage. Now,
And
it's
now I need to roll my
unfortunate
D20.
because it is still alive. You are bleeding. You take 4 points of bleeding damage.
Do I now roll a D20 to see if I stop?
Yeah, so you take the 4 points first.
Yeah. 15. Okay.
And then you roll a d20.
13.
So if you staunched, which I think you did say was your first thing,
Yes.
then yes, you have managed to stop yourself from bleeding. You will no longer be taking any more bleeding damage.
Okay. But it's about to eat me, so
well,
that's irrelevant anyway.
It's got 3 targets, and I'm willing to say at this point it's probably just striking out randomly. Its temptation was to potentially go and try and engulf you again, but I'm not sure that's worth doing. So it is going to. No, it's just going to strike out. So it's going to strike out at Nephii first. 11 on the dice, plus 14 for a 25.
Yep.
That is definitely going to hit you. You are going to take 11 points of damage. You are bleeding again as well. It's then going to strike at Moz for its next action. 7 on the dice with a plus 9 is not going to be enough. That's 16. And
21.
Try one more time at Moz again. Moz did hit it rather hard last time. No, that is going to miss. That was only a 12 in total. So for its 3 actions, it has sort of flailed out at people, but only hit once on Nephii. Phelan.
Okay. Looks like I'm going to need to move up here,
Mhm.
and I'm going to battle medicine Nephii
Okie dokie.
because that should clear the bleed as well, shouldn't it?
It will indeed. Yes.
Right. So survey says 26 on the check.
That's a critical success. So that would be
Ooh.
4d8's worth of healing.
Nice.
Okay. Use my sparkliest d8s
The right kind.
for a grand total of 12 hit points.
12
Okay,
more hit
cool.
points. Okay, but you are also no longer bleeding, which is massive, massive advantage. Phelan, you do still have one action remaining.
Okay. Have we managed any recall knowledge on this thing so far?
I don't think so. I don't believe you do actually know what this thing is. You just, yeah, off the top of my head,
Okay.
I can't remember.
Okay, in that case, I'd like to recall knowledge.
Okay, I will get.
Probably aiming for its defenses or resistances.
Yep, that's fair. Actually, that's a really good roll. So yes, you do know what this thing is. From the very, very corner of your occult knowledge, which is only at a +1, but still apparently was enough to know what this thing is. You know that this is a gibbering mouther. You are very, very aware of the fact that defenses wise, it's not really immune to anything. It's not really got any resistances to anything. It's got a very, very good fortitude save. It's its strongest thing. Yeah, and it's not very willful. Interestingly, what you do remember is they're actually particularly weak to bludgeoning damage. They actually take extra damage when you hit them with a bludgeoning weapon. Okay, what do you want to do with that knowledge?
Bump it with blunt stuff if you can.
There's a pained look on Mozron's face.
Or just stab it anyway, it'll be fine.
It is the beginning of turn 6, and it is Mosran's turn.
There's that pained look as he momentarily thinks, technically the back end of my halberd is blunt, but I really don't think I'm going to do much damage with that.
Let's carry on stabbing it normally then.
Because otherwise he's got a sap in his pocket or just off his belt. That's two action. That's an action to draw.
Excuse me while I whip this out.
Yeah. Look, some of us know a goblin that keeps a sling as a G-string.
Yes, we
So-
do,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Keeping a sap cunningly concealed where other people keep cucumbers wrapped in tinfoil. It's entirely normal. If that reference you're
My players, ladies and gentlemen.
We're gonna go with stabbing in the face. I think.
Pick a face, any face.
I mean, there are a few.
Yep. I'll dip my. Anyway, 15 plus 12.
27 is going to be a hit. With the flanking, it's almost a crit, but not quite.
Send it on the. Oh, that's not that thing. 8 and 4 for 12. Please.
Okay,
Actually, it's a +1 halberd. Was that
It's
+1
only-
to hit or +1?
+1 to hit. It's only ever +1 to hit, and it should be included in your character sheet already.
It's in my. Yep. Okay, fair enough then.
Okay, you swing down at this thing. I would like you please to describe your kill.
As he stabbed at it multiple times, he's seeing this is getting a little bit frantic. As the blade comes up over his right shoulder and he brings it down, he times it just right to get one of the mouths as they open up, and he just rips across one, just further widening the smile. And then spilling out all the insides, making them outsides.
This sort of mass of a creature, these mouths and everything, all of a sudden there is silence in the chamber. The chattering stops, and it slowly just slides off the rock that it's engulfed. The entire chamber goes still. And you are left in the relative silence of this pool chamber.
I quickly get out of the water because there's guts in it now.
Yeah, it's probably fair.
Well, that was a bit interesting.
It was on the list of things I was not expecting, yeah. I mean, when he said that, you know, that there was something in that talked to itself or talked, I wasn't expecting it to be something that yammers a lot.
No, I was expecting some kind of annoying and obnoxious like spirit or fairy or something.
I mean, there might
I mean,
still be.
it was annoying and obnoxious, just not in the way that we thought.
Well, yes.
That as well.
I'm gonna search and see if there's anything else in here.
Yeah, is there anyone else who suffers from exploring?
You have a look around the chamber. The first thing that you notice is there's some bits and pieces that have obviously been scattered down here. Potentially having a look up, you look up into the top. It looks like that might be some sort of well that's above, that's dripping the water down in. And so after digging around a little bit and having a look around, you do find some coins. 190 copper pieces and 64 silver pieces. And there is there's no corpses or anything else like that in here. This looks potentially like people have been dropping this stuff in to a well for like superstitious reasons. The little bits and pieces dropped off. Outside of that, there really isn't a huge amount. There's some bones and little bits like backbones and potentially, you know, you kind of look around, maybe some small humanoid creatures, potentially things like the Mythlets or maybe even a Morlock. You know, they're not humanoid. They're not they're not humanoid in the way that you would recognise as above ground folks. There's slight deformities. There's slight shifts in the shape. There's slight shifts in the body. So that's the kind of general bits and pieces that you see. Obviously, on top of that, the chamber itself. There appears to be a set of stairs to the north of you, immediate north of you. And then there is a tunnel heading far into the north. Just going to grab the camera back. So, to the far north of you. And that seems to slowly but surely descend downwards.
Should we go up the stairs and finish off the plan of working around and what have you before we go down?
Sounds like an idea, yeah.
Yeah, I'm with that.
I agree, but if anyone can physically do more medicine on me before we end up in another risky situation.
I can blast more magic into you. I can't do more bandagey stuff for a while.
Oh yeah, I don't want to waste spells.
Have you got a healing potion?
I don't think I do anymore. No, I do not.
I do.
I've got a couple of. I've got a minor and a lesser.
I'll tell you what, I won't use it, but if we come across something, maybe I can use it if we suddenly end up in a combat situation.
Makes sense.
So knowing people have potions is handy. But I'm not going first upstairs.
I think that's my job, usually. More often than not.
Take the front, I'll take the back.
Oh, no.
Hmm?
Let's rock and roll. Oh, there's a good door here. Right, let's stack up again. Not that I'm entirely mistrusting, but... And Moz
Very
will
ready.
take a look at the door, give it a
You wanna
quick
let-
check over. In fact, yeah. Do you, Nephii, do you want to have a look at this?
I was going to say, do you want to let me through so I can tell if there's anything
Okay.
spiritual on the other side of it as well?
Yeah.
I'll
Oh,
do
sure.
detecty magic-y.
Okay. I won't worry about people moving around too much. I'm happy to do that sort of logistics happens a little off screen. So in terms of like just the general detect magic and similar little bits and pieces, no, you do not detect any magic. No, you do not detect any spirits at all. At least not in the local area. In terms of sort of checking the area for traps and anything else like that, yeah, you check this door over thoroughly, Nephii. You are 100% happy that there is nothing untowards about this door. It's quiet on the other side. You do not see or hear anything that might make you suspicious of it.
Okay. Looks all good, Moz.
Happy days. And he will
Let's go.
gently apply appropriate force. You want to go crashing through straight away.
Okay. Door, yep, opens up quite happily, and as with all things, more than happy to have you guys open up the doors. A small alcove, its floor decorated with silvery circle of inlaid runes, sits in the eastern wall of this empty room.
Okay, that's just a light furnishing off on the left-hand side then. Step in. This is going to go wrong. on a closer inspection, is that silvery runes and circly layout looking much like the potential teleportery?
Interestingly, no. This looks different.
Okay.
Can I investigate it somewhat? Do I recognise what it might be?
Mhm.
You've not got any idea. Not a clue.
It's cool, isn't it?
Definitely the category of odd. Interesting.
You know.
Yeah, it doesn't match anything that you would normally, consider.
Okay. In that case, then let's model lean on the next door and have a look through. Ah.
Okay.
Well, that's not really disappointing. Nephii, your sharp eyes see anything interesting in here, or is it just a cubicle? Because this seems a little bit excess.
Yeah, does it seem like another lift situation or
you don't trust anything to do with that lift anymore, do you?
No.
It doesn't take you long to realise. Yeah, this end of the corridor that you've just opened. So you open up the door in the north of the empty chamber that you've just been in. You check thoroughly, and it's really blatantly obvious, especially from this side, that there's actually a door. But for whatever reason, it is hidden. I'm just gonna point out, just for my pedantry reasons, Kess, you've actually gone off camera.
Sorry.
There we go.
There we go.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Okay. So yes, there is a door at the far end.
Okay. There you go, Moz. Find you a door.
Hey, make me happy, man. Come on, let's take a look into this. It was a little bit too weird just for, connecting to a blind cave.
Oh.
And what the hell is that?
A
Well,
lot of blood.
there's actually a couple of things on this one. So the first thing, long shelves with several chairs drawn up to them ring this room on all sides, save the north. Rancid stains of old blood and decay cake the shelves and floors, and that, I mean, that was your immediate reaction. But actually, to be honest with you, the bigger problem for you is that stood or sat, I suppose, at the chairs and looking at the shelves, are two creatures as you open this door. To be fair, they haven't noticed you as you open this door quite carefully and silently. These aren't. This is a secret door. It was designed to sort of slide aside. It looks like they probably didn't really know that much about it, and Mars slowly but surely closes it. But before
Can I
you do
get
that,
a check knowledge check? Just as it's like, oh.
well,
Just like, do I recognise what these people may look like, or otherwise what these creatures may look like?
I mean, you can tell that they look like that.
Oh,
Oh. Oh my.
Um,
Oh.
Charming.
and in my standard sort of way, I do kind of say you've opened the door a little bit here, so I'm gonna be a little bit mean and say keep that door open right now, because you might be able to slide it shut, but you might get spotted. So let's see what happens here a little bit, because these creatures, you say, you slide open the door, they're busy working away at the various shelves, and you kind of start to think, maybe not. Unfortunately, I am going to want an initiative check, because as with all things like this, I just want to see what's going to happen. I just want to, just run the game as the rules describe. So there is now a new combat tracker, which I shall very quickly hide away on that one, and let's get the right music on for this one, because they've actually given some proper little music for fighting these guys, so we'll use it, I think. Okay, everybody. No, I don't think anybody was particularly scouting, so there's no +1 on there for people. You are, however, Nephii is most definitely going to be able to roll stealth. Everybody else, unless you've kind of already told me that you tend to use stealth as well, will be off perception. Can I have everybody, please, to be rolling their initiative?
15 and 9, 24.
Oh, I've
Also
just clicked the button,
24.
haven't I?
24.
Been an 8 for 23.
24.
I want the score I rolled. There.
No. What did you roll?
22.
I mean, that's still pretty good. 23.
27 was better.
Yes, I'll give you that. What does bode you guys well is actually both of my creatures are going slower than you. So, you may get to shut the door here. It depends on whether or not anything else happens in the course of you guys doing anything. So we'll start the fight, and it actually is going to start with Phelan. If Phelan wants to do anything, you can also hold your action. So it's entirely up to you whether or not you want to start this off, or if you want to do anything else.
I think I'd like to delay until initiative count 21.
Yep, fair. Okay, so that's shifted you, Mosran.
First thing would be recall knowledge check. Is there anything I recognise around these? They look vaguely undeady. So I'm hoping there's something in the undead lore that I know because of those sharp pointed teeth.
I will indeed
Assuming that's
ask
funny.
you what's your undead lore bonuses, please.
Not in spellcasting, it's in sorting character. Where the heck? There we go. +7.
+7.
+7.
Okie dokie. So Yeah, you look at these things. Even your base religious lore would have given you some information, but you're able to pinpoint it a little bit better because they're undead. These are ghouls. These are very, very similar to the ghouls that you saw in the corridor. In fact, they almost look identical. There's no real thing that separates them, other than the fact that they're wearing these religious robes, which ghouls don't tend to do. You know, they're not they're not always the most intelligent creatures. Some can be, and you have a feeling you might be encountering some that have retained some sort of aspect of either organization or intelligence. They just stand out to you as being slightly more than normal, but they are still ghouls.
Hey, friends with the last one.
Not the last ghoulified thing. Do we think they've spotted us?
They don't appear to have.
I am going to attempt to close the door. Have a very brief conflab.
Okay, you slide the door shut and you carefully watch them, and the door slots into place, and you listen carefully. You do think there was a kind of noise from the other, but it doesn't look like they have any idea that you were there. And on that note, I'll end the combat.
One of these days we're going to get serious bother next time we open the door. Try and close it. And I'm going to like motions just to shoo people back from the door slightly. Create
So
a bit of space.
close that door then, if you would.
Thank you. You shoo us back to the main room. Close that door to give us a little bit of sound barrier.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, they're definitely still ghouls, but they're all dressed up in robes. Whereas the ones like out in that corridor looked like they were like beyond raggedy.
Ghouls
Cool.
in clothes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do I know anything about this? Undead, shadow plane, or haunt doesn't matter for scoring.
What's your bonus?
+7.
If I remember rightly with these, we need to not get bitten.
We do.
So you probably know less than Moz. Ghouls.
Fine.
You're more interested in spirits, generally speaking, in your past experience. That has been more spiritual undead rather than corporeal undead. Yeah, these are. Yeah, if they're ghouls, they're ghouls. You vaguely know about like the ghoul fever that you can potentially get from them.
But yeah, don't get bit. I mean, that's a plan for any sort of battle generally.
Yeah.
Don't get bit.
Are we?
Okay.
This might sound like a daft question, but are we in any kind of magical state, Phelan? You're more experienced with the healing side of life. Are we in a fit state to kind of cleanse anything that these guys cause, or these creatures cause?
Not magically, not currently. I think
Motions
we've
to the
got.
right.
I think we might have some potions, but I currently don't. That might be a bit prophylactic against that sort of thing.
Okay.
Yeah. Either we've got half a chance maybe of having a brief conversation with these before it goes violent, or they're going to be smart enough to be smart and violent. Either way, if we want to go much deeper into this, we've got the corridor full of nasties, and they're just going to go straight off the bat. Or we might be able to contain this to a single room. Focus off that kind of fight.
Yeah.
Or if we, checking through what pouches and things we've got, have we got enough gold to step back a bit, go back to town, get some appropriate equipment for this. Speak to the herbalists. Some potions they'll hold off, as you say, take a prophylactic approach.
It might be something you can get help with at the chapel as well, the church.
Yeah, because it's a religious disease kind of ish.
Kind of
It's a religious
ish.
problem.
Holy water would be a good bet. Everyone thinks a lot about them.
Yeah. And we know where this door is now, and we know at least that these couple lurk in here, probably, more often than not.
Mm.
It's going to take some time to get back, though. That's the only thing.
Yeah. Oh, at least we've got that direct passage.
True.
So, strap in and now with a high risk. Hoping we can slam a couple of doors if it all goes sideways, or discretion being the better part of valor. If they don't know that door's there, they don't seem to. There.
Maybe they just don't care that it's there. Whatever. How? Who knows how long they've been doing whatever they're doing in there?
Mm. They don't care. Does that imply they are perhaps stronger than we might like?
Well, if they're smart enough to not care, then they're smart enough to have a conversation. Not
Yeah,
that I'm a
true.
huge fan of having a conversation with something that is this kind of threat level to anyone.
I'd rather have a conversation than a fight with it for us.
You know, what would we say? Hi guys. How is the studying? Is there anything interesting beyond you? May we go and have a look and possibly kill it?
We won't hurt you if you don't hurt us.
I think that's the best kind of conversation that we'd have, yes. Depending on what level of control they've got on their brethren down the corridor.
Hmm.
Because if they're happy to stay down here, that's not a problem. I mean, as you say, we don't know how long they've been down here, so. So, in or out?
Well, as you saw, how
Yeah.
likely are we to be able to defeat them if we have to, even if we were fully up to strength?
Probably a good chance. There's only two of them.
We've got a
There's
nice
small
choke
space.
point.
Yeah.
Okay.
We can piss them off in a short area and I can block it with myself. The downside to that is I am blocking it with myself.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll make you feel better when they hit you and bite you and.
Yeah. Yeah, about that.
Let's not have Moz get bitten by a ghoul, eh?
And not if we
I
can
mean, it
possibly.
wasn't the aim.
Terrible plan.
Not first on my list. Yeah, it's a relatively small room. It's just the problem with the choke point is it's as much actually in their favour it is in mine, in ours. Because they can get both of them climbing up on things and stabbing me in the face. And whilst I can reach over folks, I don't think any of you are particularly good at reaching around me. I mean, Nephii, you could probably take pot shots. I can duck, and Inval can blast over, and maybe yourself too failing.
Well, this was the thinking. We don't pile up in that little 10-foot 10-foot space. We open the way, and if we need to fight them, we fight here. So they're having to come through that 10-foot space.
Liking that idea more. Get them in the narrow choke point.
Figure I can produce at least a distraction creature the other side of them.
Which is always positive.
Gives them another thing to fight through.
So, boils down to now or hold off. Who's voting for now?
For now.
I mean, we might want to throw a potion down Nephi's neck first.
Not going to say no.
I guess then. And who's for holding off? Or are you?
Well, I'm a bit on the cautious side, but if we properly arrange ourselves so that you and Olarin are most likely to be on the receiving end of anything, and Nephii and Invar and I are a bit for back a rank for
Okay.
so
In that case, then.
I mean, obviously we try and talk to them, but in a with a mood to backing the hell to here, and
How dark is it here? Just checking.
I mean, there's no light source at all.
apart from a torch.
Yeah, apart from a torch.
Okay.
I have a torch so the badger can see. I mean, I can pour the elixir of dark vision down his neck if you want.
No, it's more that the things I was going to summon are not able to see in the dark like I am.
Ah,
Anybody
right.
else.
So you're light for the benefit of
It's
those. So we do have a light
It-
source.
Okay.
Okay. They can
What
all see in
potion
dim
was
light,
it?
just not in dark.
Potion of dark vision. Think.
No, sorry, I meant the healing one. What am I rolling?
Ah. Yep.
Yeah, well, whose potion are you taking? Because you don't have one.
No, I know. That was why I was like looking pleadingly to mum and dad of the group.
I
don't have
believe
any.
Group Dad said he had a couple, and I believe I only have one.
He did. Yes.
Right. How much are you down?
About halfway.
It would be fair to say substantially.
Okay. So we can give you a lesser, which is 2d8 plus 5.
Mm. What's the other
Or-
one?
I've got a minor for 1d8.
First one will get you
Mm.
more.
Yeah, that's probably quite an expensive one.
Is it more expensive than a dead Nephii?
Took the words out of my mouth.
I've never thought about quantifying it. Sure, I'll take that one. Take
I mean,
some
if
second one.
if we're buffing you up, then that's probably
Yeah.
the one to use. The other one is going to be sufficient for getting someone back on their feet and then getting them to Relanth.
Fair.
Mm.
Okay, I will take was it 2d8 plus
5.
5.
plus 5. So that's 14 points.
It's not bad.
That
Okay.
puts me up to 30. So almost full back. Thank
Okay.
you.
Right.
All right then.
So I'm going to stand here for anything that kicks off, because then I'm in battle medicine range of anyone who's on the front line. And I suggest that one of the people on the front line is the small black and white mashed potato fetishist.
If you know that reference, you're
Uh-huh.
I'm British.
Yep. Definitely very British.
Right.
Oh wait, I feel old.
First time for everything.
Yeah, that's how I was feeling, Dave. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm big fat doorstop. Let's go and have a conversation and find out how sane they are.
I am only backed off because I wanted to be able to see and tucked in the
Yeah.
corner. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, you open the door.
Take my way forward.
Take your way forwards.
And
Carefully,
Pop-
I'm assuming, slide the door open.
is it
Hi.
going
Hi.
to slide the door
Right.
What's
open
going on in
and
this
also
room?
prepare an attack at the same time? Because paranoia.
Ready in action to bugger off.
Yeah,
Yeah, really like the scalper.
you're planning to talk to them. I would say it's going to be difficult to ready an attack as well as doing that.
In that case, then yeah, 'cause you
I'm
can't ready a
reading an
movement.
arrow.
You slide. Well, yeah, you're fair. You're near the back.
You're out of sight.
You slide the sliding panel aside once more, and you see these two creatures doing something, messing around with the things on the shelves. If you just stand there, it's probably not going to take them long to notice you. But are you just standing there, or are you going to?
Standing there for a 2 count, just to okay, and there's no immediate alarms, bells, whistles, or anything going off this time. So, general folks, found anything interesting to read, or is it just more of the same?
So the second you start talking, both of their heads snap to the side. These long, jagged teeth in their mouth. And the one at the front looks at you. Its eyes kind of widen a little bit, almost like in surprise that there's anything down here. And then it becomes a snarl.
I'm going to take it that's a no then.
The cult of
No, almost.
Kanka will feast on your flesh. And that's where we'll stop for this one. We'll wait there. That's pretty much an hour. Yeah, that's pretty much an hour. So you know, always nice to have that little cliffhanger. Thank you guys for having that nice long conversation, making this all work nicely for me. Thank you. It's wonderful how this happens.
Almost like we planned it that way,
Almost.
Yep.
but not quite.
We're not scripted, so no. Thank you very much, everybody, for coming along and listening. As I said, please at the beginning, please like, please subscribe, please get other people to come along and like and subscribe, and share what we're doing because we're having fun and I'm enjoying this. I'm enjoying doing this lot for these four, and yeah, I hope you're all having fun, and we'll see you on the next random encounter. Bye bye.
Bye.